Today lecture we will see introductory part of cloud computing, and this one is the first lecture. In this lecture we will see what is the cloud computing, what are the advantages of cloud computing, disadvantages of cloud computing, and various types of cloud computing. So before starting the cloud computing we will discuss what are there before introduction of cloud computing. So with the help of this story we will see that there is a businessman, and this businessman want to host a website. So he asked with a technical expert, how do I do that? Technical expert says that for hosting a website you need a bunch of resources for your company, and resources like as a server, database you will need, and software you will need. And also you should appoint a technical expert to monitor your websites. And this all one is the very expensive, very costly. So again, businessmen say that all this is too tough. Do you have an easier solution for this? Because maintaining a server, maintaining a hardware, software, and hiring a technical expert is too expensive. Again, technical experts say that yes, we will use cloud computing, and this one is the better solution for that. Now we will see what is the cloud computing. So cloud computing is the delivery of computing services such as a server, storage, databases, networking, software, analytics, intelligence, and more over the cloud, or we can say that more over the internet. With the help of this you can easily understand about the cloud computing, like as cloud computing is the delivery of computing services, and computing services like as a server, databases, network, software, etc. over the internet, and we will pay for what we will use. In simple terms, it means storing or accessing your data over the internet will become very easy with the help of cloud computing. These are the some companies which offer cloud computing services like as Rackspace, Joyent, Terramark, Google Cloud Platform, IBM Cloud, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, VMware, DigitalOcean. So these are the some famous company which provide cloud services. Again, we will see what is the advantage. So first advantage of cloud computing is cost. It reduced the huge capital cost of buying hardware and software. Second one is speed. Resource can be accessed in a minutes, typically within a few clicks. Means any program run on the cloud or any software run on the cloud, then the execution time will be very low in compare of if we use a traditional approach. Third one is a scalability, means we can increase or decrease the requirement of resource according to the business requirement. It means that suppose we have only today we have only 3 or 4 phases or 3 or 4 part of any requirement, but after 1 year we want that we add this requirement, so we can easily add that requirement at that time, or after 5 to 6 years if we want that now we will not need for this, so we can decrease for that. So scalable means we can add or we can reduce or we can decrease. So scalability is the third advantage of cloud computing. Next is a productivity. So while using cloud computing, we will put less operational effort. We do not need to apply patching, as well as no need to maintain hardware and software. So in this way, the IT team can be more productive and focus on achieving business goals. Next one is a reliability, means backup and recovery of data are less expensive and very fast for business continuity. Next one is a security. So many cloud vendors offer a broad set of policies, technologies, and the control that strengthen our data securities. So these are the advantages of cloud computing. Next, we will see types of cloud computing. So again, we divide cloud computing into two phases. First one is the cloud deployment, means first type of cloud computing on the basis of cloud deployment, and types of cloud on the basis of cloud services. So if we talk about the cloud deployment, then there are three types of cloud computing. First one is a public cloud, second one is a private cloud, and third one is a hybrid cloud. If we see on the basis of cloud services, then again there are three types of cloud. IaaS means IaaS, second one is PaaS, and third one is SaaS. Information as a services, platform as a services, and software as a services. So let us discuss one by one. First one is a public cloud, means its name represent what is this. Public means it is a publicly for all use. Means the cloud resource that are owned and operated by a third party cloud service provider are termed as a public clouds. It delivers computing resources such as server, software, and storage over the internet. An example of public cloud is Amazon Web Services, AWS, or Microsoft Azure. Means the product with the help of the cloud, which are publicly to all of the person. This is called the public cloud. Means it is not depend on any particular requirement, any personal requirement. What are the software we will produce is publicly for all. Second one is a private cloud. So the cloud computing resource that are exclusively used inside a single businesses or organizations are termed as a private cloud. A private cloud may physically be located on the company on-site data center or hosted by a third-party service provider. Example are again AWS or VMware. Like I say, if we made a project for a particular company, means a particular company can work on that project, and this will be not open for all the public or all the person. So this types of services is called private services, and this type of computing is called private cloud computing. And third one is a hybrid cloud. So hybrid is the combination of both, means private cloud and public cloud. So it is the combination of public and private clouds which is bounded together by technology that allows data applications to be shared between them. Hybrid cloud provide flexibility and more deployment option to the businesses. For example, for a NASA project, NASA is using the hybrid cloud computing deployment. Its open source cloud registered project Nebula use a private cloud for research and development, and in addition a public cloud to share data sets with external partners and the public. So this project use both type of clouds, means private and public. So this is called the hybrid cloud. Again, we will see what is information as a services, platform as a services, and software as a services. This is the different types of categorizations of cloud computing. So firstly, we will see what is the IaaS, means infrastructure as a services, that is called IaaS. So in IaaS, we can rent IT infrastructure like as a server and a virtual machine, storage, networks, operating system from a cloud service vendor. We can create VM, means virtual machine, running Windows or Linux, and install anything we want on it. Using IaaS, we do not need to care about the hardware or virtualization software, but other than that, we do have to manage everything else. And using IaaS, we get maximum flexibility, but still we need to put more effort to maintenance. And example is AWS Elastic Compute Cloud. This is called EC2, and the detailed study we will see in the forthcoming lecture. What is the EC2? So this is a EC2 provided by the Amazon, and this is a web services in the cloud computing that is called EC2, means Elastic Computing Cloud. This one is the example of information as a services. Next one is a platform as a services. So provide a platform on which software can be deployed and deployed and deployed. Means how many times we want to deploy, we will prefer a platform which will be provided by the cloud. So the cloud provider allow the customer to deploy their own applications using programming language or any tools. An example is AWS Elastic Beanstalk. This is also a product of Amazon. Again, software as a services. It provides a centrally hosted and managed software services to the end user. It delivers software over the internet, on demand, and typically on a subscriptions basis. Example of software as a services is like as a Microsoft One, Microsoft OneDrive, Dropbox, WordPress, Office 365, and Amazon Kindle. SaaS is used to minimize the operational cost to the maximum extent. So, what is SaaS? What is PaaS? And what is IaaS? We will discuss again in the second unit in the detail. But the introductory part of the PaaS, SaaS, and IaaS is here. Now, with the help of this figure, we can see what are the packages of software. Like as a in the first column, we will see the package service software, and this one is the software packages. Here is the applications, the data, runtime, middleware, operating system, virtualization, server, storage, and networking. These are the individual software packages. And if we will work on the traditional approach, then we will have a person which have the command on all the software package, or more than 2%, 3%, or any person which company requirement. But when we use cloud computing, and in the cloud computing, we know that there are three types of cloud computing, like as the infrastructure as a services, platform as a services, and software as a services. So being as a customer of any company, if we use infrastructure as a services, then in this phase, on application, data, runtime, and middleware, a person can manage. Like as I am the customer of any company, I am borrower of cloud services, and if we choose the option of infrastructure as a services, then application, data, runtime, and middleware, and some part of operating system we will manage. And what the company means vendor manage. So managed by vendor will take virtualizations, servers, storage, and networking. If we choose the option of platform as a services, then in the case of platform as a services, being as a customer, I will prefer only on the application and data. Means you can manage only applications and data, and managed by the vendor will runtime, middleware, operating system, virtualization, server, storage, and networking. These phases are managed by the vendor, and only two phases managed by the customer. But if we choose software as a services, then in the case of software as a services, all the things is managed by the vendor. We have not take any headaches on any of the services. So these are the things on which we can manage, on the things which are managed by the vendor. So it depends on me which types of services we will rent or we will purchase. If we use infrastructure as a services or a platform as a services or the software as a services, which type of services we will use, it's depend on me. Next one is evaluation of cloud computing. So with the help of figure, you can easily understand what are the evaluations of cloud computing, but in the detail we will discuss. We know that in 1960, John McCarthy introduced mainframe time-sharing computer. In 1960. So what is the mainframe? So mainframe time-sharing means mainframe computer is a huge computer. Means like as in nowadays we will take a laptop in our bag and we carry here and there. But if we use a mainframe computer, then this is not possible, because using a single person we will take near about 20 feet room for the setup of a single computer. Yes, but advantage of mainframe computer that it will execute a task which will take a very less time. Executing multiple means simultaneous task, but that task will take a very less time to execution. Like I said, if we make a transactions on the bank, or if we making a software for the bank and we use a mainframe, then in the banking sector we will see that either we will take an ATM, and on going the ATM we will withdraw our money, or we will check our balance, or we will deposit our money. This will be the single task, and this task will be parallel or simultaneous with the same bank, and near about lakh, 10 lakh, thousand, or 1 crore person can access the same software as a single time. So this is the mainframe time sharing, and this one is introduced by John McCarthy in 1960. In 1969, ARPANET, and all of you are aware about the ARPANET because World Wide Web is invented on ARPANET. And this one is what? Advanced Research Project Agency Network. ARPANET full form, Advanced Research Project Agency Network. So in 1969, JCR Licklider introduced ARPANET. And in 1971, in 1970, virtualization software launch. This one, 1970, virtualization software launch. And in 1991, WWW means World Wide Web launch in 1991 at ARPANET by Sir Tim Berners-Lee. So after the launching of World Wide Web, or after the launching of Internet, so this is the real history start from 1991. In 1997, cloud computing is a term defined by Professor Ramnath Chelappa. In 1997, cloud computing is defined by Professor Ramnath Chelappa. And Salesforce is the first company which introduced the concept of cloud computing. In 1999, Salesforce introduced the concept of cloud computing. Means this one is the person which introduced the cloud computing concept. But which one is the first company? Salesforce is the first company which introduced the concept of cloud computing in 1999. And in 2006, Amazon launch Elastic Cloud Computing or Elastic Computing Cloud, that is called EC2. We will study in detail about EC2 and S3. So in 2006, Amazon launched EC2 and S3. S3 is a simple storage services. And in 2013, total 78 billion pound worldwide public markets are shared by the cloud computing. Means that one is the if we count from 2012 to 2013, there is 18.5% growth in the market of cloud. And in 2013 to 2014, there is an elastic change of 20% plus in the market of cloud. So in 2014, total 103.8 billion pound over the global market. So this one is the history of cloud computing. Means if we start from the sharing of data from one computer to another computer, that is in 1960. In 1960, it will be started of sharing of data from one computer to another computer, and it will hardly take only 60 years, means 2020, from where to where technology will be shifted. Next, we will see the concept of parallel computing. So, parallel computing refer to the process of breaking down larger problem into smaller, independent, often similar parts that can be executed simultaneously by multiple processors communicating via shared memory, the result of which are combined upon completion as part of an overall algorithm. The primary goal of parallel computing is to increase available computations power for faster application processing and problem solving. And there are generally four types of parallel computing. First one is the bit level parallelism. In bit level parallelism, we increase processor word size, which reduce the quantity of infrastructure, which reduce the quantity of instructions the processor must execute in order to perform an operation on variable greater than the length of the word. Second one is a instructions level parallelism. So the hardware approach works upon dynamic parallelism, in which the processor decide at runtime which instructions to execute in parallel. The software approach works upon static parallelism, in which the compiler decides which instructions to execute in parallel. Third one is a task parallelism, means a form of parallelizations of computer code across multiple processors that run several different tasks at the same time on the same data. And the fourth one is a superword level parallelism, a vectorizations technique that can exploit parallelism on of inline code. So these are the four types of parallelism. So these are the topics of today lecture. Next we will see in the next lecture.